Hey everybody, welcome again. Week 4, so we're past the halfway point on managerial accounting BA300, and so far each week everybody's doing good, so no major issues. I'll try and keep this short, but I'm going to cover, since we're talking about budgets and stuff, I got a couple other personal experiences I'm going to share with you here in a minute. But for right now, we'll jump in real quick. Last week discussions, everybody, those of you that are in there, doing great. So just keep that up. The homeworks, um, some of you is having some questions. You've been in touch with me, um, and we've gone back and forth, to help you out there. So one of the things, like on just example on this extra 21.5. So when you get on there and you get your where'd it go? Let me find it. So you get you get your spreadsheet here for 21.5. I'm gonna move that over, and then you go into the book and you find out where your 21. You find out where it's at there, 21.5, right there. One of the things I know, this is, I will admit, this is one of the more difficult courses. You got to spend time in here, not minutes, but hours. And so you get a mixed bag of how you get your information. You get what we call word problems, where it gives you some of the information, like balance for December 30, December 31st. And so that's what you got right here, December 31st. You got to start with your sales, and your sales. When you get in here, you read through here, you go and you see all this information, and then where do you get your sales from? And that's one of the things. See right here, the output and sales for 32,000 units sold at 100 per unit. All right, so that's how you come up with the sales. So I mean, let me see if I got this other one here. Nope. Oh wait, maybe I do. Maybe I do. All right, so when you do that multiplication, you come up with what I got right here, 3,200,000. So that's that 32,000 units times $100. So same thing with like retained earnings. Right here you got retained earnings. So all you're doing is like on this, you just add these ones up, and that's your retained earnings. So and I know, and this is, I mean, I could sit on here an hour going over this, but the thing is, you're just going to have to spend a little time on it. And if you need help, let me know, and I can send you some stuff to go back and forth, and we get this all figured out. So, anyway, so that's on the homework last week. And presentation. So this week's presentations, you got 3 of them, or I'm sorry, 2 of them, because I'm in the wrong. I need to go into week 4 there. So anyway, you got 2 of them for week 4 here. You got differential analysis and product pricing, and that's where you go into trying to figure out how to price things. Sometimes you'll see something maybe in a store, and it's something you really like, and all of a sudden they don't carry it no more. Well, that's because they figured out they were losing money or something. Calculate profitability of a product. So I mean, that's part of what this is. And again, I mean, this has a lot to do with operations, as far as how much figuring out how much things cost and everything. But and depending on what you're going to do, but no matter what type of job you're in, there are things to look at. I'm always looking at, hey, and when I ask for a couple packs of ketchup and they give me 10, it's like, wow, okay. Most of us don't think about that, but me, because I used to be in a business and run business stores and stuff, pizza stores, I look at that as money. I mean, I multiply that by, I do my finger calculating, and I multiply that. So, and I come up with thousands of dollars. So, the other chapter here, investment analysis, and so this is where they try to figure out like investment proposals and things like that. Now, I had a unique experience when I worked for when I had the Domino's, and most of you've been with me, you already know my story on the Domino's. Used to work for the corporate stores, ran stores in Seattle, and later went Philadelphia, and then had my own. So this is me and my kiddos when we were in Ohio. But the thing I wanted to just to show you an example um, about capital investment and stuff. Um, one of the things with Domino's Pizza used to be private owned by a guy named Tom Monahan, and I think I have that. Where is it? Right there. Okay, so in 1998, he sold he sold Domino's Pizza for like $1 billion. All right. Now I was working corporate stores back then. I was in Seattle, so for about a year or two, for about a year or so before this deal went through um, in '98, the company started prepping itself to go what they call, find an investor to buy the company. And so they basically, go out and do these sales pitches. But to make that work, one of the things we had to do, even down at I was in Seattle, but one of the things they look at is how much is the company worth, how much do they bring in, what are their expenses, is it going to be worth their time to invest in this company and make money off of it. That's, why investors invest, is to make money, or make a profit and turn around and sell it later. So in our case, I'm just using the pizza store analogy here. There's a thing called AWUS, which is average weekly unit sales. So if you have an area that has, and this example here, I'm just using 10 stores. So you got 10 stores, and each one does this much each week in sales, be it 20,000 or 4,000. So those 10 stores will, like when I was in Seattle, I had like 10 stores, and Philadelphia had like 15, 16 stores. So depending on, but still they go by different regions. So in this case, it's 118,000, a week. You divide that by the number of stores, and that gives you the average. So the average sales for those 10 stores would be 11.8. Take a different region, but there's different sales. They have lower sales because they have more stores doing less money. So the average goes down to 1020. Now you can just imagine, you can also do this by like 6 or 700 stores. Like back then, Domino's had like, 1,000. They had like 6,000 stores in the U.S. and then they had several thousand overseas. So again, the same principle on how you do that. You figure out what the average is. Now, so what Domino's did to get ready to go public, or not public, but to find an investor, was make the company look better. So how do you make the company look better? One is to have higher sales, higher average sales. So if you close some stores, so like when I was in Seattle, we ended up closing about, we had like 20 stores in that area, and we closed 3 of them. So, so what we did, so here's the example. You get rid of these, what they call low performing stores, right? So now, you got these like 7 stores or 6 stores. The average sales is 13 because you're only divided by 6 instead of 10. Because that's how many stores you got now, 6. So all of a sudden, even though you got less stores, you're actually doing more money. And so that's just, I'm just doing that as an example. That's not really in anything here, but just for your own knowledge. So anyway, so they went, so eventually, and then Bain Campbell bought it. Then a year or so later, I I transferred to Philadelphia, did the same. I took over some poor performing stores, worked it, got them up there, but then again, the company at this point, now owned by Bain Capital, was prepping to go get on the stock market, to actually become a public company with stock. So again, the same process started over again. Let's find poor performing stores and shut them down. So that happened there. And then after there, I went franchise, so I had my own stores. That was that picture I showed you a minute ago. But then again, about a year or two after that, they were still wanting to go where they go public. So again, they did the same thing with franchise-owned stores. So any franchise that was doing, under $8,000 a week, and so that was one of, I fell in that category. I had the 3 stores I had, but they were all doing like between 5 and 7 a week, because of the region where we're out in the rural Ohio areas. And so again, so what they did is they canceled a bunch of contracts nationwide, and again, the company looked much better, and it wasn't, in reality, it wasn't a better financial position because it would have less debt that way, but higher sales. So anyway, so that's just an example. I just, just a little tidbit there. So, all right. So let's get back in here. So you got the presentations, the homework. I'm sorry, down here, homework, the same as you've been doing. So, let me know if you're having any issues, discussion, do like you've been doing. Haven't seen any problems. Those that are participating, just a few of you not in there, so we need to talk. But otherwise, that's pretty much it. You're doing, those of you in there, you're doing great. So, and you're in touch with me. So, if you got any issues or problems or anything, just let me know. Otherwise, I think that's just about it. Except for if you watch this video, let me know what this is, and we'll go from there. So, everybody have a great rest of the week or upcoming week here, and get in touch if you need anything, and that will do it. So you take care, everybody. Bye.